He's calling us from Florida. What's up, Giant?
Hey, well, I appreciate, the first thing I want to say is I appreciate y'all because you guys are the best on the radio, and I depend on my radio, and thank you all for being great, Jim and Pat. And, I wanted to pick up on something you guys said before about JPP. I'm down here near Daytona, and there's a gentleman that played for Cookman University back. You remember Larry Little? You got to remember Larry Little.
Larry Little, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a guy on his line. They called him Fat Freddie Kennard. I don't know if he never played in the NFL or nothing. But Fat Freddie had an accident, and he was a defensive lineman, and Fat Freddie lost a finger. And he said that was the best thing that ever happened because they stopped calling him Fat Freddie, and they started calling him Four-Finger Freddie.
I shouldn't be laughing at this.
I'm serious as a heart attack now. He told me something very interesting. Now, listen to this because he has some insight. Now, he said that JPP don't have to get used to the grip, but JPP lost an index finger, and Fat Freddie lost the ring finger. So he has two insights. Number one, JPP, now I'm a huge Giant fan. He focused. He's still going to be able to put on that Super Bowl ring. But number two, understand that there's other non-football related stuff. For instance, like this man told me, even when he used to go to the restroom, like when you have to, I obviously cleansing situations, you need that middle finger. And, that index finger is a life change. The middle finger is a life changer. So I think JPP going to be able to survive, especially there's all kinds of prosthetics and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? There are.
Yeah, but techniques for grip, like we talked about, there's just, he's going to have to learn to do some things differently. It's just like we talked to offensive line coach yesterday, Bob Wiley. In terms of taking on a run, where you physically have to take on a tackle head on, and, now he could have to potentially lock out in order to hold the edge with the one arm, which is his left hand, which is still intact because he can't get that grip and use the strength that he needs to turn the tackle the way he wants to turn him. So I do think there's going to be some hurdles for JPP.
Jimmy, I want you to ask Fat Freddie if he was able to go right away. How long did it take Fat Freddie to get right? Because when we're hearing this fractured thumb, skin grafts, no index finger, we've had people on the last couple of days that really believe it's going to be a year before he can function.
Let me say this. He played pretty quick. And keep in mind that JPP did optional because they gave him some other options, and this was the quickest way to get him on field. But I want to say one thing about Fat Freddie became Four-Finger Freddie. Now, fast forward, because he did not have an NFL career. But what he told me was, and I know him well because I work in a hospital, and Four-Finger Freddie became Three-Finger Freddie because, unfortunately, he was fishing off Flagler Pierce and this big old hammerhead that he brought. He shouldn't have brought it up, and everybody was telling him, let it go, Pat. And guess what? That hammerhead took the thumb. So now, let me tell you, what he was telling me was one of the hardest parts wasn't the football part. Football part comes natural to an athlete. But like I said, some of the bodily functions, cleaning up after the bathroom and all that stuff, you need some of those fingers. Now, I'm just saying, that's life is life. There's a life outside of football. But, anyway, guys,
did he remember that he had another hand? That's what I want to know. Yeah. He had another hand that was in full tap.
But if you ever tried to wipe lefty, you don't want to go with the other hand.
Jimmy, you're crazy.
No, you're all good. Hey, listen, God bless you, man. You guys are the best in the radio, and I appreciate y'all. Go Giants.
Thank you.
All right, the Giants, Jimmy.